Well, it's hockey night in Fredericton tonight. Game 3 of the AUS Championship Final here in women's hockey. Sudden victory. Winner-take-all battle here tonight at the Aiken Center. It should be a great game.
The 7th playoff game for both of these teams. Each of these teams had the first round bye. There's first series of 4 games. These two teams know each other well. These teams are based on defense, and X is all about their offense, and it's going to be this duel all night is what we're going to be talking about.
Hey, stay high! Stay high! Don't get complacent now. We got to keep going.
Title is on the line. Double overtime. We are underway as Dabrowski.
Sudden death overtime is nerve-wracking. It is. You never know when it's going to happen, and then at any time it could go in the net, and then the game's over.
The 2022-23 season is one of change for the University of New Brunswick Reds women's hockey team. This is the final season of eligibility for the 9 players who have been with the team since its return in 2018. This is the last season this group will be together.
There's been a core group here at UNB for 5 years that have really transformed our program. They came in day one and wanted to make a statement here at UNB, and we knew what we could accomplish, and we knew it wasn't going to come overnight, but they've ingrained themselves in the community and made women's hockey here and girls hockey here in Fredericton important.
It's crazy how much we've developed, not only as hockey players, but with each other and those relationships that we've had. You want to play for the person beside you, and it's definitely a lot easier when you've known them for 5+ years. So you develop a chemistry. It all starts here in the dressing room, and I think it's really shown in our play on the ice for sure.
On the heels of their 2021-22 Atlantic University Sport Championship and the program's first appearance at the National Championship Tournament, the pressure to succeed is greater than ever.
Just remembering back to that first game at St. Thomas, game 1, we're all excited getting a chance to play a city rival, but ultimately didn't get the job done.
We lost 1-0 to Steele, and we did not score a goal.
And I think in that moment after the game, it was just that's never happening again. We don't want to feel like this again, and I think that really kind of lit that fire under our butt.
And after that, we won the next 14, I think. Yeah, the next 14 games. So it was a really good start of the season.
Be early and they score.
The Reds came out flying, opening the season winning 14 of 16 games and outscoring their opponents by a dominant margin of 50-18. But all the while, another story was developing.
Coaching while pregnant is not easy. I never thought that I would be able to get through an entire season pregnant. I think I just have so much more of an appreciation for women and what we're capable of doing, and it's like a full-time job growing a human. And
Coach Sarah, her being pregnant, I was honestly pretty concerned at the beginning, but she handled it very well.
It says a lot about her as a person. She's been extremely resilient through 9 months of pregnancy, being behind the bench. It's unbelievable for 24 girls to watch another strong, independent woman pregnant behind a bench as a head coach in our leagues.
I thought it kind of brought her a little bit of a different perspective on the season as well. A large emphasis, even more than usual, on family and that community and that support.
They told us she was pregnant. It was this big surprise. It was super cool. Since then, it's felt a little more we're a big family.
I think it was just a truly special year for us to kind of go through that and share those memories with our team.
And a goal.
The Reds wrapped up the regular season with an incredible 23-5 record, finishing in the top spot in the AUS standings for a second straight season. They earned a first-round playoff bye before defeating the UPEI Panthers in the AUS semifinals, setting up an all-too-familiar showdown for UNB hockey fans.
And welcome to Game 1 of the Subway Atlantic University Sport Women's Hockey Final, the Championship Series. UNB Reds, St. FX Women. David, we've got a heck of a series. Top two teams in women's hockey in the Atlantic University.
It was a cool juggernaut kind of matchup where you had the best defensive team in the league versus the best offensive team in the league.
Going into Game 1 of the finals of playoffs, it was exciting. I mean, we were hyped up in the dressing room. We were, ready to go.
X has always been a fierce opponent. I think every time we've played them this year, they've brought it every single game. So I think leading in, we knew it was going to be an absolute dogfight and that they're not a team that's just going to roll over and give up.
We started off pretty strong, and it was, it was tough going through it, but not the outcome that we wanted that game, that's for sure. But we knew we had to regroup real quick because we were back on the road right away. So
it was kind of awesome just to have that loss, but then regroup, come back, and then we kept saying we want to win this at home.
Game 2 was a battle, ending in a 1-0, 34-save shutout for Kendra Woodland.
Kendra Woodland, the Subway Player of the Game. From Kamloops all the way to Anna Ganesh, I think you covered every inch of the net here this evening. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
After winning Game 2, we definitely had momentum coming into Game 3, which was nice. We knew we were playing at home.
I think that loss against St. FX Game 1 was exactly what we needed to win. We found our best Reds hockey after that Game 1 loss.
Let's go. We just gotta go hard.
For the core group of 9, Game 3 of the AUS Championship had special meaning. It was the last time they would suit up in red, white, and black on the Aiken Center ice, a place they called home for the last 5 years.
One of the biggest games of our career, and it was it was such a mixture of excitement and nostalgia at the same time, putting every single thing we did that we normally do before a game, I was like, this is the last time I'm doing this. This is the last time I'm going to do this warm-up in this rink. This is the last time I'm lacing on my skates before a game in the dressing room. Tried to keep myself as in the moment as I possibly could for it. You're excited, you're nervous, you're fired up, you're ready to go, but it's also the last time being in this dressing room with the gals, so.
Being able to play our last game ever at home in front of over 1,600 fans. We just knew we had to leave it all out on the ice and give it our all.
Well, it's hockey night in Fredericton tonight. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Game 3 of the AUS Championship Final here in women's hockey between the UNB Reds women's hockey squad and the St. FX X-Women. I'm Robbie Doherty alongside David Kilfoyle for this sudden victory, winner-take-all battle here tonight at the Aiken Center. David, two great teams squaring off. It should be a great game.
We didn't want to change our game plan, especially coming out of Game 2. I thought we did a really good job of executing, and we knew it was going to be a tough battle. We knew that both teams were getting tired, so we just had to make sure that we had our game plan. The girls knew what they needed to do to make sure that we found success, and it's just a matter of execution at that point.
The game was really intense, actually. It was a battle right from the puck drop. It was tough because one of our players was down, injured, and they didn't blow the whistle, which was, it was hard to see.
By UNB now as they looked, it looks like we have an injured player down there. She
banged on the boards and no call, and UNB totally distracted, so that's why Kendra Woodland's not happy. The puck goes in the net. UNB was still worried about their player down.
First period, 0-0 game. It was the first goal, I guess. Paige is down in the corner, and I know I got a little fired up with that because it's that want of wanting to win so bad. that you don't want anything to go awry. But that was kind of the first bit of adversity, was that first goal.
Going into the second period, we were down, and like we get a power play, and right off the start, I was like talking to somebody, just trying to get them like to know who's going out next, and Strat just comes around with a big wraparound, scores a goal, like, and then it just felt like, okay, we're back in this, like we have a chance now. It was like a very back and forth game at that point.
We got the lead again, and then they tied it back up on our penalty kill, which, you know, it's never easy, but you always got to regroup from that again.
I think when the whistle final buzzer went after the third period, we were headed to OT, I was nervous. I don't know, I think in overtime you always kind of grip your stick a little more, and there's just, it's next goal wins. So I mean, you can't make too many mistakes, especially against a good team like St. FX.
The roof about to come off at the Aiken Center here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. It's overtime. We are underway, 10 minutes on the clock.
Well, there was one shot in the first overtime that I thought was in the net. I don't know if I actually told many people, but I guess there was just a shot from the half wall, and it hit one of my defense on the leg, and I was moving a different way than the puck was, and I kind of paused and closed my eyes for a second, just. It's like, oh, I hope that's not in, and then I heard it hit the boards kind of behind me, so I was like, just deep breath here, like, whoa.
Still kept in, one last chance perhaps from UNB. They're not going to be able to get that one off. So, overtime number 1 in the books. Still nothing decided, still deadlocked.
We started a 10-minute overtime and no one answered, so there were no goals scored there.
I feel like the message from the coaches at that point is leave it all on the ice. You know, you're not, what are you saving it for anyways?
Here we go, let's go. We're gonna start Strat's line with Jenna and Keenan. Let's go.
Well, there you have it. The scene at the Aitken Center here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, on the campus of the University of New Brunswick. It's Game 3 of this best-of-3 AUS Women's Hockey Final. Title is on the line. Double overtime. We are underway as Dabrowski.
Going into double overtime, we started off really well, and then we ended up taking a penalty. And
right off the bat.
Now here comes a delayed penalty. Looks like it's going to go against UNB, and it's going to be a cross-checking call, David.
you're going up against a very good power play who had scored 1 or 2 goals against us in the game already on the power play, and I think that's the first time I kind of went, oh no, here we go. We're gonna need an extraordinary effort to kill this one off.
See what happens. Oh yeah, knocks her into the boards. Okay, no question on that.
Wagstaff goes off. Pitt's taking the draw now. A big line out for St. FX on this power play. Dabrowski now cross ice in the slot. Big shot opportunity. Nice save there by Woodland. Over 50 seconds already expired on that power play, and here's an opportunity. Short-handed is George. She's got great speed on the right side. 2-on-1 opportunity. Out front for Smith. They score!
Fred Sear! I talk about it all game, and it's Billy George and Fred Sear short-handed with this game.
Fred Sear with an opportunity, makes no mistake. And the UNB Reds are your 2022-2023 AUS Women's Hockey Champions in a classic battle here at the Aiken Center.
When that puck crossed that red line,
My gloves are off.
oh yeah.
Fred did an awesome job of just getting up on her horse and getting there and supporting the play, and a beautiful pass through the legs of, again, one of the best defenders in the league. It was pretty fantastic, and I'll never forget the roar of the crowd and just the feeling that, you know, we had accomplished something that really was 5 years in the making.
That was wild. That was like probably one of the coolest games I've ever been a part of. Whether I was playing or coaching, the crowd was cheering for us and like made a difference in the energy of the game and the energy of the players, and it was really cool to be a part of.
My gloves never flew off so quick in my life.
Trying to get off the bench.
Get off this bench, let's go. The place went wild, like it was
roof blown off. I mean, to win at home on our very last game at the Aiken Center for a good group of us, and it was a great moment that definitely will remember for a very long time.
Just to see what it meant to so many people, you know, not just us on the ice, obviously we're ecstatic, but to see the people in the crowd react the way they did, it's awesome. And I think, you know, what UNB Reds hockey has meant to the community of Fredericton, seeing it in that moment was pretty special.
It was one of the best women's hockey games that I've ever watched and been a part of, that's for sure.
Despite a near-perfect season and a gutsy championship performance in the AUS, the Reds would make an early exit at the U Sports Championship tournament, losing to the host, Université de Montréal, in the opening round. As the saying goes, that's hockey. But there are some things that cannot be measured in the win column. Some things are bigger than any trophy or championship.
When we were youth hockey players, we didn't have a whole lot of women's hockey and role models in that to look up to. So now that we're in a spot where we can be that for the next generation of female hockey players is very, very special. And it's just an opportunity that we wouldn't want to take for granted at all.
For us now to be able to have a positive impact on the younger girls playing hockey around Fredericton, but also across Canada, we want them to know that there's a place for them in the game of hockey. The game has grown so much, and us as a society have grown so much, and things are starting to change. And I'm hoping that, you know, the little girls that watched us all year and throughout the years know that they can be us one day, they can even go higher, you know.
I mean, any chance you get to inspire the next generation is obviously something pretty special. And we run all kinds of camps all year because we've recognized that importance.
There's been a jump in interest, certainly for my daughter and her friends, in the level of hockey that they know that they can play because of these girls and because of the program that Sarah and her team have put together.
I've been watching the Reds play for about like 5 years. My favorite players are Tally Moore and Jenna McLean.
This team is really important to girls in Fredericton in particular. You know, we tell our sons that they can be like Connor McDavid or Connor Bedard or Sidney Crosby. And you know, we now have people that we can tell our daughters they can be like Tally Warren and Jenna McLean and Kendra Woodland. The fact that these little girls can look at someone on the ice who looks like them and they can aspire to be like them, and you know, it creates a lot of motivation for them, and they treat the girls like gold. They really are invested in bringing up the next generation of female hockey players, and as a parent, you know, couldn't be more thankful for them.
When I grow up, I would love to play for the UNB Reds team.
The Reds women's hockey program has seen so much growth and success since returning in 2018. These players have battled and persevered, on and off the ice. They have helped build a legacy of winning. They have grown as players and teammates, but perhaps more importantly, they have grown as people, as women.
We came in as like 18-year-old girls, now we're 22, 23-year-old women leaving, so I think like that group definitely best friends forever, and I think the girls that came in years after us too helped build this legacy and are definitely leaving this place better than we found it, for sure.
As for the core group of girls, they'll be at my wedding one day. Yeah, all of them. So
unreal. I honestly don't know how to put it into words the last 5 years.
For me, and I think I can speak for a lot of people, it's been the best 5 years of my life.
We're at the cusp of bringing a life into the world, and at the beginning you don't know if it's a boy or it's a girl, and you just want a healthy kid. And you know, now that it's a girl, and just seeing all the work that we've done in the community and bringing another, hopefully a little hockey player into the world, what a cool environment for her to grow up with. I can't say enough about the women in her dressing room, for her to grow up and know that she can be anything that she wants to be, and that she literally has idols that are going to help raise her. I'm just so excited to bring another little women's hockey player into Fredericton, and for a community that just embraces women's hockey and wants to see girls hockey succeed. It's pretty cool. I think that I'm just really excited to see how we can continue to make the lives of all young women hockey players, young girl hockey players better. And, I'm going to fight tooth and nail to make sure that that happens. And I'm pretty proud of this program that it's going to support me and support our daughter as she goes along that journey too.
It's been more than 5 years since Reds women's hockey made its return to the ice. 105 regular season games played, 69 wins, 4 AUS playoff appearances, 2 AUS championships, and 2 appearances at the national championships. These players and coaches have brought a community together, inspired a new generation of female hockey players, and proven that women's hockey belongs on the ice at the Aiken Center. While this chapter of Reds history is coming to a close, a new one is beginning. With the exit of the Core 9 and the absence of Coach Hillworth on maternity leave, raising the newest member of the Reds family, this team will look very different in the 2023-2024 season. But their goal remains unchanged: bring home a national championship.